In this video, we're going to be finding out about the word quisiera and exactly what it means. Let's get started. Hola a todos y bienvenidos a Coffee Break Spanish. Yo soy Mark.
Y yo soy Marina.
And as I said, in this video, we're going to be answering a question from our listener, Fabian. And Fabian wants to know about this word quisiera. What exactly does it mean and how does Fabian use that? So, Marina, what exactly is the word quisiera and what does it mean?
Quisiera can be translated as I would like or could I. So, for example, in Spanish, we would say quisiera un café.
Okay, so I would like a coffee, or could I have a coffee in a cafe or something like that?
And we could also say quisiera reservar una habitación if we were phoning a hotel, for example.
So quisiera reservar, I would like to reserve una habitación, a room in a hotel, for example. Perfecto, okay? Quisiera reservar una habitación. But what exactly is quisiera?
Actually, quisiera is an imperfect subjunctive of the Spanish verb querer.
Okay, so if you're watching this and thinking, what on earth is the imperfect subjunctive? Don't worry, you don't even need to know that in a sense. But you may want to know that it is the special type of verb that is used in particular situations. However, quisiera has been used so often in this situation that it's come to mean this I would like or could I have. Marina, could you give us an example of how we would actually use quisiera in a normal imperfect subjunctive scenario? And again, don't worry if you've not covered this kind of thing yet.
Yeah, we can think of the subjunctive trigger esperar que, so we could say esperaba que quisiera acompañarme a la fiesta, pero no quiso.
Okay, so esperaba que quisiera acompañarme, this is a long sentence, acompañarme a la fiesta. So I was hoping that he or she wanted to accompany me, to come with me to the fiesta, to the festival, the party. Pero, what did you say?
Pero no quiso.
But he or she didn't want to. So we've got quisiera here, following our esperar que. So esperar que plus a subjunctive. I was hoping that he or she wanted, imperfect subjunctive, to accompany me to the party. Pero no quiso. So there's another querer, but this time it is the preterite of querer. But coming back to our use of quisiera in the sense of I would like, is that a particular level of politeness?
Yes, quisiera would be used in very polite circumstances. So we have another options like querría.
Okay. Querría, that is the conditional form of querer, I would like, querría. And is that still quite polite?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. What about slightly less polite then, maybe more direct?
We could say quería.
Okay, this is really tricky because we've got querría, double R, conditional, quería, single R, imperfect, kind of means I was wanting as opposed to I would like, but it's still used in this ordering sense. Let's hear those two words again, Marina.
Querría and quería.
Wow. Querría and quería. Muy bien. Okay. What else?
And we could also say quiero in a less polite manner.
Yeah. So just a kind of more direct quiero. I want. So we've got I would like, querría, I wanted, quería, and I want, quiero.
And for you to know, this wouldn't sound rude, okay? Because sometimes Spanish people, we sound very direct, but if you use quiero, you're not being rude to the person you're asking to.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, I have got one further question about quisiera, because we did start with quisiera. And quisiera, as we've found out, is an imperfect subjunctive. And in this sentence here, this quisiera could be replaced with the other form of the imperfect subjunctive, quisiese. But could we ever use quisiese in this same idea of I would like or I would want?
No, it wouldn't sound natural to say quisiese un café.
Okay, so don't use that if you're familiar with that form. Stick to the quisiera. Okay, well, hopefully this answers your question, Fabian, and we hope that you enjoyed this video and that you now know exactly when to use quisiera and what it really means. If you have a question like Fabian, then you can get in touch with us. Just go to Coffee Break Questions and you can fill in the form there, leave the question for us, and we'll hopefully be able to include your question in a future video. Talking of the videos, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon that appears, and that way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.
And if you want to put your Spanish into practice, you can leave a message and write a sentence using quisiera. You can either ask for a coffee or maybe use it as an imperfect subjunctive.
Perfecto. We can't promise to provide the coffee if you ask for a coffee, but we'll do our best to get back to you. Muchísimas gracias. Thanks to Fabian for asking the question, and muchas gracias a vosotros. Hasta luego.
Hasta pronto.